What's up, everybody? Kristin Gutierrez here. I am so excited because I'm here with my dear friend Heather Powers, who honestly we haven't spoken in a couple years. So we're going to use this time to talk about what she's been up to. You're definitely going to want to tune in and to also just catch up. So Heather, so good to see you. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me. Great to be with you, and I can't wait to catch up with you too.
All right, so tell us who you are, and then we'll just give you the spotlight to introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I'm Heather Powers. I'm in Washington, D.C., and my career's been in corporate America in management consulting. And a few years ago, I decided it wasn't really working for me and my family anymore. I have two kids, a 19-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter, and they were in the midst of middle school and high school. And I'm like, this is not working for working moms anymore. So I need to do something about that. And that's where I met you. I can't believe it's been that many years. But we got together and did a mastermind and a book camp and stuff together. And I was like, I'm going to write a book on why organizations need moms in the workplace. And as we're both working moms, we had a lot to share with one another. So that's where it all started. The book came out just about a year ago. I cannot believe that. It was on a slower pace than you were. But the book's out, it's been out a year, and it's really a business case for organizations on why they need women in the workplace, but really moms in the workplace. And so the reception has been fabulous. I'm so excited about that. And I'm now speaking with organizations, coaching women, and I'm about to launch a membership for working moms who just need a little more support as they navigate personal and professional goals.
Okay, so we're going to dig into a lot of those things in the next 20 minutes or so while we're together. But if you could leave the audience or anybody listening with like one burning aha or topic or idea, like what would that be? Why are they going to stick around for the next 20 minutes?
Yeah, well, I think when we started, when we met and I was putting this book together or the initial phases, I'm like, there need to be more women in the workplace and there needs to be more support. And you're like, okay, why? I was like, well, the organizations that have 30% or more women in senior level roles, like decision-making roles, are more profitable. Like over a huge study, 6% more profitable if you have women somewhere in the decision-making roles. That's pretty powerful for organizations who are very focused on the bottom line and sort of maximizing their revenue and their profit. And that's wonderful. And as the book was going to publish, women were at an all-time high for participating in the workforce. That's amazing. And in the last 16 months, that's changed for lots of reasons. 2025 alone, we saw 500,000 women leave, half voluntarily, half involuntarily. And a lot of the reason was because of childcare and just not having the support in place. So things are starting to change a little bit, but I think we still need women in the workplace and we need moms. So bottom line, make your business more profitable.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so good. So stay tuned because one thing I love to talk about anyway is how to make more money. So Heather is going to give it to us from the lens of moms. And I think, so it's crazy because, yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, your kids were in middle school, high school. My kids are now 5 and 7,
I
like
can't believe that.
already 5 and 7, but still only 5 and 7, right? And as I also pivot into having my real estate badge fully lit across
Hmm.
all things while continuing to coach people on how to make more money, I realized the value of having a community as a working mom, right? And so that's that lens is so important to me because you matter. It doesn't matter how old your kids are to be considered a working
Right.
mom, but those of us with smaller children who are literally struggling between, do I pick them up early? How do I feed them lunch? Baseball starts at 4. I need to
Yeah.
do this. Like, we can't do it all, yet somehow we do. And at
Yeah.
the same time, we want community and we want to feel like our brain is being used for other things than just snack schedules and pick up drop off.
Right. Exactly. And most of us have spent a lot of time getting degrees and certifications and credentials, and we want to put that to use, right? Whether it's for ourselves or for an organization, a company. And so why not? Like, and the fact that it benefits organizations, that it benefits larger society, that absolutely should happen. So yeah, you're in the thick of it, right? You're just sort of getting into the swing of things with the school and the extracurriculars and all that stuff. And they still need help. They still need mom. They still need support. It's funny, I have a high schooler and now a college kid, and yet I still am on duty. Now, it's not the same and not maybe as consistent as where you are, but my son came home for spring break last month and got super sick. And suddenly I'm taking him to the doctors and making sure he's taking his medicine all the time and trying to get him well to send him back to college. And so it doesn't really stop. And I think that's
Well,
the
yeah.
thing. It looks different.
It does. My sister is an attorney, so also a working mom, and her daughters are already sophomores about to be senior or juniors in college. And then she
Oh,
has a middle schooler, I think going into high school. So she has
wow.
three kids, right? Um, so she's also in the thick of it, but she will say like, I mean, she's driving all the time to go see one of the daughters play soccer. She's driving all the time to see the other daughter sing at college and like, yet also managing her son while working. It is
Right.
crazy, Heather. So do
Yes.
you teach people a framework or a system? Like, who do you help? You help the moms or do you help the corporations or you must help both?
Both. Yeah. Yeah. So one-on-one, I tend to coach moms who are sort of at wit's end or like, oh my gosh, this is a busy phase. I'm like, they're all busy in different ways. So how can we make it a little less crazed? And then I help organizations who are like, I don't know what to do. We need good talent. Moms are great talent, but they have these requirements or these parameters. I was like, all employees have some sort of parameters they need to work around, right? Whether you're a caregiver to parents, to children, or you have extracurricular activities or volunteer, whatever. We all have parameters. So don't put it just on the mom, right? That work looks a bit more like, have you looked at your data? Have you looked at your retention data? Have you looked at your attrition data? Who's leaving and why? And many haven't, or it's anecdotal, or
Mhm.
they're doing the exit interviews instead of what we like to say, like the stay interviews. Like, what would keep you here? Like,
Yeah.
what's challenging in your phase of life right now? And often these are so easy and inexpensive. Maybe it's a little more flexibility, like Tuesday and Thursday. I want to start at 9:30, not 9, because that would accommodate my drop-off schedule. I can still get the work done, right? That's not an expensive adjustment.
Well, you said the stay challenge. It reminds me of our other good friend, April
Perfect.
Lipton.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. Okay, is it okay if we focus? I think the conversation with corporations is fascinating, but I'm thinking about who most likely is listening to this podcast at this
Yep.
iteration, and it is mostly women like you and me, and or their spouses or men, but
Yep.
nonetheless who are entrepreneurs of sorts and or still working the corporate grind. I loved my corporate job. I don't mean to call it the grind. Nonetheless, like let's gear the rest of this conversation over there because I think that you even said you're coming up with even more ways to help women like me
Yeah.
and yourself with like memberships and close. When you coach people, when you coach women one to one or in a group, do you
Yeah.
a framework or a system? Like how do you what's kind of part of the process? Get us excited.
Yes. Yep. Yep. So I have both one-on-one coaching, and that's a little more self-driven. Like, where does the mom want to go, and what's sort of challenging? And then I have group coaching, which again goes a little bit with where the group wants to go. But I do have a power framework because why not just use the name? And that teaches people how to first pause and really understand, like, what is it that I need? What phase am I in? Right? Like, what you need with young boys in the elementary school phase is different from what I need with a high schooler trying to decide where she's going to college and one already in college whose schedule changes every week. And so, but once we figure that out, then we can actually own that and ask for what we need. And that's honestly where I see, yep, pause, own. That's where I see a lot of people tripping up, a lot of women, is how they frame the ask.
Oh.
Oftentimes it comes across as, I need this because my life's so hard. It's hard. I get it. But if you frame it in a way of, this slight schedule adjustment would allow me to be even more effective. And I've already chatted with my colleagues and they cover the hour before I come in. I'll stay late those days. Like, if you frame it as a business, a win-win for everybody, it's a lot easier to say yes. And
Mm.
that's where a lot of our coaching conversations go, is
Mhm.
how do you frame that in a way that it's, of course, obvious. Yes, go ahead and do
Mhm.
that versus
Right.
woe is me, this is so hard, help me fix it. The
Yeah.
manager's like, I don't know what you need. Tell me what
I
you need.
love it. Okay, so were we going somewhere else with the pause, the own, or is there a WER, or should we pause to talk about what you're talking about here? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, there are. And
Oh, okay.
sometimes we get to those and sometimes we
Yeah,
don't.
just tell us what they are, and then we'll dig back into this last thing. Like, just tell
Yeah.
it. Yeah. What are
Yep. So then we use sort of winning, like,
they?
okay, you've owned it, and then you win by making the ask. Then you get energized, and then you reset. And that might be, okay, this is great. This is working for the next 6 months. It might be, gosh, this is not working, and I need to reframe it in some way. So those are the rough ones, but honestly, we spend most times in that sort of pause, what do I need? And
Right.
then owning the ask and framing it in a way that's an obvious yes.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing what's kind of downstream because I think it's also very important for us to then get excited about how you really dig in and help. Because
Yeah,
you don't just leave us once you help us with the ask. Now there's the ladder. So yeah, is that
right.
where you wanted to focus? Like give us do you have a story or something of a client that you've helped or that you've seen somebody successfully use your framework to reframe where they are and how they feel and the outcomes.
Yeah, yeah. So a few, and one sticks out. So again, I sit here in DC, and 2025 was hard for many of us for lots of reasons. But here in DC, a few things happened. One, government, which had been flexible for the last 6 years since COVID, um, most said back to the office.
Mm.
And whether you were a federal employee or you were a contractor supporting the federal government, those return to office mandates came quickly and families were struggling. So I do a lot of work with a nonprofit called Chamber of Mothers. And in the DC area, we have a WhatsApp. And so we would see these, oh my gosh, my agency's pulling me back. My company says I have to go back 5 days. I don't have childcare.
Oh,
And maybe I have it for the time, but I don't have it for the commute time. And we would see these, oh my gosh. And within 24 hours, they're like, I quit. I'm like, pause, pause. So I would work with those ladies to say, okay, it sounds horrible. It is tough. Don't quit your job. Give it more than 24 hours. Like that's a pretty drastic shift, right? And who knows what's down the road. So there were several women either through that chat or through that group or separately that I'd work with and just say, what absolutely do you need? And could you frame the ask in a way that is easy for someone to accommodate? One of the funny things is, or I find ironic, is these return to office mandates, and then suddenly there aren't desks for everybody, right? There's no
oh,
parking for everybody. And so
yeah.
they're all coming in, but then they're like, where do I sit? What do I do? And so sometimes that works in your favor to say, how about we rotate? Or how about, I come in 2 days, he comes in three. Again, conversations, and not everyone wants to have those conversations.
Yeah, because they're hard and they're scary, and maybe we're at home and we're being told no all the time, or that we don't have a voice, or maybe we
Exactly.
are more shy and introverted and don't know how the right words.
Right.
So
Yes.
that's so amazing that you are an advocate for so many women, both globally and also locally. Like, I loved when you said you were involved in the local chamber and that you are in a WhatsApp group and that you're providing support that way. That's
Yeah.
very meaningful.
Yeah. Thank you. It's great fun. And um, yeah, moms just want to come together, as you said at the top, right? Like we feel alone. We're sort of juggling work and kids and family and other responsibilities. And that's why I started this membership called The Village,
I was going to say,
because
okay, yeah, I was just going to say, like, how do you help moms who are literally going through it? Okay, so now you get to
yeah.
tell about the
So
village.
the idea is that maybe people just want to be part of a village, a community, and then maybe they want coaching or not. But also these one-on-one clients or the group coaching clients, they might finish the program, they might finish the sessions and say, this is all good. How else can we stay engaged?
Yeah.
Go to the village. And the village is meant to be a low-key, low stress. Like it's not meant to be a program that's one more thing on your plate every week. But I try to offer a couple learnings. Maybe it's a checklist, maybe it's a guide, maybe it's something easy to tackle a problem that most of us are dealing with. And then a Q&A session. So come with your questions like, I hear rumors my company is going to require us all back to the office, or I'm really struggling with this new boss who has no appreciation for someone with kids, whatever it may be. And then I'll offer some bonus sessions too. So some of the women we know want to come in and teach like breath work or wellness practices or stress relief or lots of different things. And so the idea is to have 3 or 4 things a month rather, and sort of take what you want, leave what you don't, and a
I
way
love
to
the
just be in
name.
community.
Like the name is so appropriate, obviously. So like kudos to Heather. And right, I was going to ask, did you bring guest speakers in? Because even the Say Yes and Figure It Out framework would be a very inspiring 1 hour thing.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
get you on the calendar.
because I can see then that for maybe a low fee and a low stress environment, it's not one more thing I have to do. It's one more thing I get to do. It's
Yes.
the chills. It's like the place I go to really have the community. And
Hmm.
so often we're really good at building local community, especially when you're in it, right?
Yeah.
Your kids might go to college out of state, my sisters,
Hmm.
but nonetheless,
Yep.
the elementary school, we're playing little league. Some of us are going to church.
Right.
Like
Right.
we're all encompassing, and then we're in activities, and we don't always vibe with the moms or the parents in that activity, but our kid loves it, so we're not going to come out of it. And so
Right.
community is both local, but it is also this beautiful concept that did I do credit mostly COVID for, like the
Yeah.
connectivity online, like understanding that just because I can't physically touch you, I can still connect with you, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so
Yeah.
that I'm already thinking of some girlfriends who are moms who would love
Right.
to know more about the village, because if it
Yeah.
sounds really good. It sounds really, really
Yeah, no, thank you for that. So we're early days. I literally launched quietly a few weeks ago, but the idea is to for the next few months to be forming it because I can think about what I'd want or what I'm hearing, but the moms who join might have a completely different challenge or want something different. And
yeah.
so through June, we're sort of in founding phase. And so that also means a discounted rate. And then we'll do quarterly onboardings for those who want to join us after July. But to your point, right? It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to support a mom. Just last week I had, what did I need? And I have 2 big mom chat groups, one from my son's friends and one's from my daughter's friends. That's 3 years apart. So, but I literally typed, hey, I need XYZ. And 3 moms immediately were like, oh, you need to go see her. Oh, she's great. Like, perfect. That's what you need, right?
Yeah.
And these women, we've been together since our kids were 6 and now they're 19. So
Yeah.
a decade or, a dozen years of standing on the side of the soccer games or the baseball fields or going to the recitals that were somewhat painful. But we went and we supported those kiddies.
Yeah.
And now, most are off to college and we're still hanging out. We're still supporting one another, whether it's to recommend a lawn service or a hairdresser or the new grocery stores and all that stuff.
Well, that'll be interesting to see then how the village takes off, if it is become a local thing, or if it does become, because I could see myself joining, but I wouldn't come to ask questions like that, right? It would
Right.
be different things. And anyway, I fully support you as a friend
Thank you.
and also as an entrepreneur. And it's been so fun to watch the book come out, even if it was, it was on its
Slower than your pace.
there's everything's on the right time. And just kind of how you're evolving and iterating as a human and as a mom and as a business baddie, right? And stepping into this and then giving the people, asking them what they want and then giving it to them. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how this whole village concept even got created, because they're like, cool, you helped me, or this thing is done, but now
Right.
what else? What else is
Yeah.
there? And
Yeah.
then from a sales principle perspective, right? Because I mean, everybody who watches knows that I coach businesses on how to make more money. It's like
Right.
this becomes an excellent way for people at a low cost, effort to get maximum support, but also to get into your orbit. Because then the
Yeah.
more people get into your orbit, they'll start to see, oh, wow, Heather has helped my friend. She's helped this person. She's helped that
Right.
person. Maybe she could help me. And so it will
Yeah.
naturally create ascension in your business,
Yeah.
which is really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the goal. You mentioned So we're at different phases and even on different geographies, the East Coast, West Coast. But I don't know about you. I really benefited from being around moms with kids 2, 3, 10 years older than mine because I could ask them those questions. I
Mhm.
could anticipate this is what's coming because Tracy just said this or Julie just shared that. I know this is going to be a challenging year. Great. I'm not surprised when it is challenging. So being around women who are a little bit ahead, whether it's professionally or in the motherhood phase, I think is helpful.
Oh,
I've always enjoyed it.
me too. Yeah. I mean, in my bunco group, my local bunco group,
There
like
you go.
we wanted to go to this elementary school anyway, but it became solidified when I got invited to the bunco group, and 90% of the moms were already going to the elementary school that we wanted to opt into, and they were already sitting around playing, rolling dice, drinking wine, talking about the ins and outs of first grade, second grade, third grade when we weren't even in
Yeah,
kinder yet. It's
right.
so well, Heather, I could talk
Exactly.
to you for hours, and this conversation is reminding me that. So, to be respectful of your time and everybody listening, what would you like to leave the listeners with? This has just been truly so, I'm so grateful that we were able to connect again.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it worked out. So one, LinkedIn is my primary social media. So follow me on LinkedIn, Heather L. Powers. And there's some links to my website and a few other resources. If you're interested in coaching or in the village, again, through LinkedIn, you can get to me. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to chat.
So good. Yeah. And we'll link everything below. And so, if you even have any other websites and such, my team will be in touch. But like, gosh, it's been what, 2.5, almost probably 3 years. Well, it has been 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Time
Can't
flies.
believe it.
So good to see you. So good to reconnect with you. And hopefully it won't be 3 more years until we talk again.
No, no.
Good.
Wonderful. Thank you for your time, Kristen.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.